Hi there, this is Miss Jennifer with 4 Kids, and congratulations on your new art book. Today we're going to be creating our self-portrait and putting our name down here on the bottom. So we're going to move quickly to get you started. We need an eraser, a pencil, a pen or a black sharpie, and some crayons. Let's go ahead and begin. The first thing I want you to do is go ahead and open up to the back of your book where you're going to find that you have some paper. Now, this paper is just for sketching, so you can practice your ideas before you get started. So what you're going to do here is I want you to learn to lightly hold your pencil. Most kids draw like this, real hard. Now, if I draw real hard like that, what happens when I go to erase? I can't erase. It's too hard. So what we want to do is learn to draw lightly like this. So even, let's see if I can move in closer. See how light that is? So when I go to erase it, no problem. All right, so let's go ahead and begin by practicing drawing some ovals. Now you'll see that I draw my oval. I don't try to make it perfect. I just lightly sketch it in. You're going to do that a few times. Then you can practice outlining your oval, and what you're going to do is just draw the correct line that you like, and don't worry about the rest. So no erasing, just sketch and ink. This is the process that cartoonists use, so I don't have to worry about all those wrong lines. I just pick the ones I want and then begin. All right, I think we're ready to go. Let's get back out here, and I'm going to, here is my self-portrait, and before we do begin, I want to show you something. This is a skull, and as you know, so if you look at it, you've got to always remember that this is what is underneath your face. So we'll be referring back to that in just a little bit. Now let's grab out of the front of your book right here. You're going to take this out, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So here we are. What you want to do is draw your oval about this size. So you want it near the top because we want room for our neck and our shoulders. And you're just going to draw that in until you feel like it's right. Okay, at this point we're going to use what cartoonists call the central axis. So we're going to go a light, very light line right down the middle. And then we'll do it again. Think about cutting a pie into equal shapes. So we're going to go across this way. So this is the central axis both ways. Now, what most people don't realize, let me see, get a little closer so you can see, is that most people draw eyes up here, but eyes are actually at the halfway mark. And if we take a look at our skull, you can see that. So it's down here, not way up here. Okay? Now, so it's really 5 eyes across, but for those of you that are small, we're just going to talk about it in terms of drawing 2 almonds in the middle of each side. So we're going to be using math and proportions as we go here. And I'll try to draw a little bit darker so you can see. So eyes are almond shaped, so I'm going to draw the top of the almond on this side with about an equal distance on each end. And then I'll do the same thing over here. And that will give me just about exactly right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyes across. Okay? Easy peasy. Next, we're going to think about, you have your pupil and then you have your iris. Your iris and then your pupil. So it's really a circle, but you can't see the top and you can't see the bottom. So we'll just kind of draw it like parentheses. If you don't know what a parentheses is, it's just what you use in writing. And it's like a C. And then we put a circle in the middle. Now these eyes are a little bit wide, but that's okay. So after you do that, you're just going to draw another line just like this line, but right on top. This is your eyelid. Eyelid. Easy, right? Next, we got to find out where the nose goes. So if you go halfway between here and here, it's about right there, and you want it to be about as wide apart as the eyes. And that's it. So you do another parentheses here and here, and then there's two ovals, which are the nostrils. And that's it. Next, we have the mouth. So the mouth is about as wide as the eyes, and the main thing you need to know on the mouth is that center line. So it's in between this and the center, right there. Okay? And if you're a smiler, you want the edges to go up. If you're mean, you want the edges to go down. Up to you. Then all we need to do is put another C right here, another parentheses, and that's the bottom of the lip. Now, our guy still looks a little bit like an alien, so we're going to come in here and remember our skull. Let's take back a look, and we see our skull here, and this is the eye socket. And the eye is in here, but the eyebrow is right there on top of that eye socket. So if you think about that, this would be the eye socket, and the eyebrow would go right along here. Okay, right along the top like in a circle. And then here it comes to the bridge of the nose. So you just kind of draw a circle over top of the eye, kind of just copy what you already did, and then you bring it down to below the eye, which makes the bridge of the nose. All right, you guys are doing great. I love it. At any point, stop the video, go back. Next, we got to think about ears. Now, people always make ears smaller than they are because we don't really think about ears, but they actually go from about here to here. So, and they get bigger at the top and smaller at the bottom. So you can draw your ears at this time. And the kind of, some people have big ears, some people little ears. It doesn't matter. You can look in the mirror to check yours out if you like. Now, most kids draw skinny necks. Well, our necks are nice and wide. We have lots of important things in there, our throat, our spinal cord. So we have to make sure we have a nice thick neck. It really comes, remember our skull right here? It comes like right here below the jawbone. So we're going to draw a nice wide neck, and then from there, out go the shoulders. And they're not square, they kind of slope a little bit. All right, doing great. Now, most of us usually wear some clothes, so we better have a little neckline for our shirt. And most of the time, kids will go straight, but in truth, it's a curved line because it's going around your body. So there's your line for your neck. All right. Now, why does this look so funny? Okay, you're right. He doesn't have any hair. Now, let me show you a couple that I've done with some of my kids over the past couple of weeks. Everybody has different hair, and what you need to do is treat your hair like it's all one thing. So a lot of kids get caught up in trying to draw individual braids, and I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is think about it in terms of being all one thing, like this. Okay? So if you do it in that way, and then you go back and add the texture. So let's see. I will do, let's see. I know so if you don't have very much hair, so say you have very short hair, you would still have a hairline, and it would come usually down a little bit like this. Depending, you might have an edge up or whatever, but your hair is still going to go up and over the top of your skull because hair, it does have volume. So if you have really short hair, you'll do it like that. Now, maybe you have some dreads or some twists. So, and maybe they hang down. So here you would just kind of draw the twists or dreads hanging down like this. And maybe they come down in the back too. And maybe they go out on the top. See, I don't know what your hair looks like. Mine is kind of easy to draw. Well, some people might not think so because it is long and straight. But I still draw it like it's all one thing, and then I go back and add. So any way you do it is fine. If you have any questions about how to draw your specific hair, then you can always just email me and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Now that we have this complete, all we have to do is ink. Now, inking is when you take your pen and you go back over your lines. Now, the eyebrows is actually hair, so you can, depending on what your eyebrows look like, you might want to look in the mirror. You can draw it as hair. Most people draw it as one solid thing, but it's actually just little hairs. And then you have your eyes, and so some of you little ones may have a hard time with this, but you bigger ones have probably copied over things many a time. So I'm making these eyes a little bit smaller because I made them a little bit too big the first time. Now remember, this is the pupil, which is going to be black, but I'll leave a little highlight. A highlight is an area that reflects light. Now if you're older, you would have another line under your eyes, but you guys are all young, so you probably don't. Now notice, I have not erased anything yet. Now if you're sophisticated, a little bit older, you can do a little V right there for the top of your lip. And then if you have hair that covers your ears, of course you won't see them. All right, now I'm going to go ahead with these dreads. And so you see, I'm starting to have a really cool little drawing here. And what's cool about doing self-portraits is that no matter what you do, it's going to be a little bit of you because you drew it. And that's the fun part. So kind of just relax and enjoy it. And I know it's kind of different than maybe what you've done before. Okay, here we go. Now, this is looking pretty good. This is the main thing. So if you look closely, you'll see I still have lots of pencil lines. What I'm going to do now is try not to drop my phone. Oops, sorry. Okay, now I'm going to take my big eraser. If you don't have a big one, that's okay. But what you want to do is just kind of systematically go and erase everything. So this will be a process that we use over and over. So that's why I'm kind of really going to emphasize it. We sketch, we ink, we draw. Okay? Very simple. And this is actually how cartoonists draw. If you go on YouTube and look up some how to draw, this is what they're going to teach you. And that way you don't have to worry about being perfect the very first time. You get perfect as you go, and you make choices as you go. Okay, now I'm going to teach you something really cool. Now, we got these crayons, which are multicultural crayons, so that you can pick your actual skin color. So if you were going to look at mine, which would you pick? I don't really see one that looks like me. Let's see, maybe over here? Let's see. It's a little more brown than that. Maybe one of these. What do you think? That one? Okay. Now I'm going to pick this one, and I'm going to get one that's a little bit darker. Now, actually I could make his skin darker. I think I will. So what I'm going to do is when I'm coloring, I'm going to color in the shape of the face. Now, most people just color any which way. But just think about if you were drawing on someone's face, what direction would you be going? Most people have lighter color lips, maybe even a little bit pink. Now, if you don't have the multicultural crowns, that's fine. Let me take a look at this and see what we have inside a regular box of crowns. Here's a nice brown. This will work. So let me go and take this brown, and I'm going to show you that it doesn't really matter if you don't have the multicultural crowns. Some people may have them at home. I don't know. We got them because we're probably going to be doing a lot of drawing of people. Now notice I did go up and down there, but especially in here in the eyes, we want to make it a little bit darker because there's shadow from that. Remember our skull, the shadow is right in here from where that it protects our eyes. The skull protects our eyes, which is good, right? All right. So I'm going to finish drawing this, and then maybe I'll go up and down for the neck, or you could do it this way. The goal is to hurry up and get rid of all that white. Sorry for all my little pings there, y'all. I guess people are emailing me. Must be important today. All right. Now, here's the cool thing. We've got to make sure we get all... What we do, if we go and we draw darker on the outside of the face, all the way around, it's going to give us light and shadow, which will make our face look a little more 3D. There's usually a shadow under the lips, under the nose, under the eyes, and definitely under the chin. And from the sides. And there you go. We start having a nice three-dimensional portrait. Very quickly, right? And then it's going to be a little bit darker around the hair here because the hair will cast a shadow. All right. There we go. Now, let me see if I can find a nice... I don't want it to be too pink, but it does need to be a little pink. So... Is that pink? Red orange. That's not right. Here we go. I'm just going to add a little hot color here to the lips. And then I'll go back in with my brown and finish them off. Now, I'm going to use the same color to do the shirt. What you want to do is pick 3 colors to finish your drawing with. So you say this is my favorite color. So now I've got it. I got a little bit here. I got a little bit here. Oh, and look what I forgot. I forgot your eyes. So if you have dark eyes, you would use a dark one. You could use even a black or a dark brown, or just use the brown and press down real hard. And make sure you get your eyes. And we also have to do the hair. Now let me teach you about texture. Texture is the way things feel or look like they would feel. So I'm just going to draw this texture in here. Remember, we're treating this hair like it's all one thing, but now we can individuate all these little dreads. So it starts to really look like hair. You were wondering about that, weren't you? Now, if you had straight hair like I do, which some of you may, you could just draw it like, draw it as all one thing and then add some texture like that. Whatever your hair is like is fine. So it's fun to kind of think about dressing the, you build the structure of the face, the skull, the body, whatever it is, and then you add on. So like we did with this, we built the body and then we added the so what do you think? He's starting to look good, huh? Okay. Now if you want to, some people like to have a little eyelashes. Now don't make them too big. I mean, some people do wear big eyelashes, but y'all are kids. You probably aren't doing that yet. Great. Now here's one more thing we got to learn. So when you are doing your name here down on the bottom, you want to make sure that you divide your name in half. So my name is Jennifer, which is a lot of letters. You may not have that many. My name has 8 letters. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means that's the middle. So if this is the middle, that means I put I-F-E-R and J-E-N-N. So if you divide your space and then fill it, we'll talk a lot about that in the future, about how you're going to fill the space. I know I got to make the J-E-N-N and then the I-F-E-R. See? It fits. Now it's time to continue on with the color. Let me lift this up a little bit for you. So when you're creating this color, you want to repeat the colors that you already have. So I have this one, and I'm also going to do, what should we have, some blue? Yeah, let's have some blue. And some people only want one color. Some people, you know, brown is actually a neutral, so it's not actually a color. But here we go. We're going to put some blue in here. And you can take your time. I'm going quickly. And you really want to make sure that you get rid of all the white as much as you can. This is called mark making, when you fill in the area. So notice how I'm carefully turning it and filling it in each way. Now if you want to, you could actually color in the background, but that's a lot more work. I don't know how much time that, since you guys are doing this at home, you can do it any which way you want to. So what do you think? Should I put the pink down here? I think I will. Now you see I should have erased that pencil mark, because now it's too late. You might be able to see it in the video. But notice that even now I'm going in the direction of my object that I'm coloring. And this is something that you can learn to do. And I'm going to show you another trick. If you, let's say, here would be a shadow, here would be a shadow, shadow, shadow. And then I can color in these shadows too. So I drew this whole thing initially and then made copies of it. So once you learn to draw, you can do anything you want to with your skills. Okay, now it's not quite finished. What do you think we need? Well, we got blue and we got pink. Maybe I need one more color. Maybe I'll get a darker and do this here. Now what's neat about this is, you see where I drew these little lines? That is called hatching, and hatching is a way to add shadowing or value to what you're drawing. So here's something cool. I'll show you. All right, this is going to get darker. And I don't want to keep you too long, so I'm just going to quickly move around here. But I want you to see how it's going to look at the end too. Now, don't go fast like me. Take your time. If I'd color in dark down here where these shadows are, it's going to start looking 3D. And then I could darken it along the bottom here so that the top area is lighter. Now, since I don't have blue anywhere else, I think I'm going to draw this edge blue. And that will make it really finish off. So we want to, if we have blue in one place, we want to have it in another. And that is called repetition. So as you see, it's starting to really look like a solid drawing. And you just have to make good choices. Stick to a limited color palette. Sketch your things first. Ink them carefully second. And take your time. Okay. There we go. I hope that you enjoyed your first lesson with me, and good luck on your self-portraits. Make sure you send me some pictures. Bye!